In this video, I discuss some of my favorite books that focus on dwarfism. Hello everybody, my name is Cynthia Veronica, and if we are meeting for the first time, I have a son who has achondroplasia, which is the most common form of dwarfism. And in my videos, I focus on tips, ideas, and experiences that I like to share with other parents of little people. Okay, now some of the books that I am going to talk about in this video might be available at your local library, so make sure you check it out there first, but I will also put links to these books in the description as well. The first book that I want to talk about is Strong and Mighty Max by Christina Gray. The author of the book is actually a mother of a child with dwarfism, so she's very inspirational and amazing. In fact, last November in 2019, she actually had Manny Swanson, who is a member of the Harlem Globetrotters, attend her son's school. He visited her son's school, and he actually spoke to the other kids about differences and about dwarfism awareness, and he also talked about bullying. Okay, so the second book is Horton Hears a Who by Dr. Seuss. This is a classic book, classic story, but I really wanted to highlight it because one of the themes that's really reiterated in this book is a person's a person, no matter how small. And it's a quote that's just really used very often in the dwarfism community. And I just wanted to showcase that this is where the quote comes from. And, you know, this is something that I've enjoyed reading to my son. One of the most beautiful and poignant moments of the book is actually when the smallest Who in Whoville contributes to the proof that even though the Whos are small, they actually really do exist. The quote in the book goes, "They've proved they are persons no matter how small, and their whole world was saved by the smallest of all." The next book is Not Too Big, Not Too Small, Just Right for Me, and it's by Jimmy and Darlene Corpé. So this is another book that's written by parents with a child with dwarfism. This book is about celebrating differences and educating other kids about dwarfism. It does it in a very age-appropriate manner. And actually towards the end of the book, there's a picture of a boy with his grandfather. And the book asks the question, you know, which one's shorter and which one's taller? Okay, now which one's younger and which one's older? And that actually helped me realize that a lot of kids actually associate height with age. And it's a concept that I didn't really, I knew about it, but I didn't really think about it in terms of how kids think. So it was eye-opening even for me and just how I can educate others. The next book is The Smallest Girl in the Smallest Grade by Justin Roberts. This book is about how one small girl can actually make a really big difference. This girl is small, but she has very keen observation, a very strong voice, and a desire to spread kindness. The next book is You'll Grow Soon, Alex by Andrea Shavik. And I'm actually not entirely fond of the title, but even so, I do like this book. It really does have an important message. Throughout the book, this character is asking different family members and different people in his life what he can do to grow taller, and he's doing so many different things trying to grow. He's drinking milk, he's sleeping more, he's stretching, and it's not until he asks his uncle, who's actually very tall, what he can do. His uncle says, "Let me tell you what it's really like to be tall," and he talks about all the challenges that he has to go through as a tall person. His uncle really teaches him that it's more important to grow on the inside than to grow on the outside. So it's a very important message, and the ending is very sweet. The next book is called You Are Not Small, Not is in parentheses, by Anna Kang. It's actually a really neat book because it uses animals, animal drawings to kind of show, that maybe from one person's perspective, one might be small, but from someone else's perspective, someone might be actually pretty big. So it's all relative. And I like how it does it in a very age appropriate way that kids can really understand. The next book is called Stand Tall, Molly Lou Melon by Patty Lavelle. And this is actually a really cute book. It basically is about a girl who is small. She's got other unique characteristics as well. She's a little different. She has buck teeth. Her voice sounds a little funny, like a bullfrog, and she has fumbly fingers. But her grandma gives her really good advice and tells her, use those things to your advantage. When people make fun of you, stand tall. Be proud of who you are and show them that these differences that make you unique are actually really wonderful things that can amaze them. And she really does come out triumphant in the end. The next book is called A Chance to Dance, Singing in the Rain by Tammy Croteau Keene and Kimberly Pace Smith. And this is actually a book about a character, a girl with autism who goes to a ballet dance studio, and she tries to fit in, she tries to join the class, but she's having a lot of trouble. Perhaps there's some sensory issues happening there, but she's not able to really thrive in that class. And so her mom has an idea to start a school or start a special class within the school for kids with differences. And so all types of different kids with differences join. There's a child with amputee, there's children with autism, with Down syndrome, and there's actually a child with dwarfism. And so that's actually why I chose this book. The main character actually embraces the child with achondroplasia, with dwarfism. I like that this mom is just really inspirational. This is a true story, and it's amazing what parents can accomplish for their kids when they really have an idea and they're able for it to come to fruition. And this is just a great example of that. The next book is Thinking Big by Susan Cucklin. And this is actually a really old book. This was published sometime in the 80s. And it's actually kind of sort of a documentary style book. It shows pictures in black and white of a little girl with dwarfism, and it shows her family and her classmates. It shows her in different aspects of her life, like school life. But the reason I really like it is because I brought it to my kids' school. I used it because it had pictures of a child with dwarfism. And it was nice because in that way I didn't necessarily have to put my son on the spot and say, oh, instead of talking about him and about dwarfism, I was able to say, this is my friend Jamie Osborne. That's her name in the character in the book. And, she has dwarfism, and I was able to show, how she's different physically from her friends. I showed pictures of her next to her classmates. And it was just a really nice way to teach the kids about differences and to open it up to questions in case they had any questions about dwarfism. Okay, so the last book is Little Squarehead by Peggy O'Neill. And this is a great book. It's actually a book written by a little person. The reason I like this book is because it shows the challenges, it shows the trials and tribulations that she went through throughout her life, and it shows ways that, in her own journey that she was able to overcome these things. So it's a very beautiful book with a very beautiful message, and in the end, it does talk about, inner strength and inner beauty and what really matters. So it is a very powerful book. So I do have a bonus book. The last book I want to talk about is called Not So Tall for 6. And the reason I wanted to give it to you as a bonus is because it's actually available for free as a story time on someone else's YouTube channel. So I'll put the link in the description below so you can check it out. In this book, the main character, Kylie Bell, is small, and she does have to go through certain challenges. There's a bully at school named Rusty Jacks that she has to stand up against. Kylie Bell is very brave. In the end, Rusty Jacks mean streak actually backfires on him. But Kylie Bell sees it as an opportunity to extend kindness towards another person. So let me know in the comments section what other children's books you and your family enjoy as well. If you got value out of this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.